Back to football now, and this next feature demonstrates just how powerful sport can be and what a difference it can make to people's lives. Ian Hunt has this report on Street Football Wales and their attempt to make it to the Homeless World Cup.
You know, you're not alone, I suppose. So, I mean, you got other like-minded people. You know, you're not the only one going through trouble. Like, you see that you're not made of glass. Like,
it gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me my life back. I think it's safe to say without the football, I wouldn't be here now.
At least 50,000 people experience homelessness in Wales every year. Thousands more could fall victim, with 225,000 living in accommodation deemed unfit. Drug or alcohol problems, relationship breakdowns, a lack of affordable housing. The reasons people end up on the streets are many and varied. But what if sport could make a difference? If something as simple as five-a-side football could help repair shattered lives? Street Football Wales, relaunched in Swansea with the help of a Welsh football legend, is reaching out to those needing a lifeline, giving them renewed hope and purpose.
It's basically getting people who are socially excluded, people from difficult backgrounds, homeless, drug and alcohol places, substance misuse, getting them all together in one day a month and playing football really, and trying to create that spark within people to change their lives.
Is it getting better? Or do you feel the same?
This is Swansea Civic Centre, just down there by the air vents there. That's where I used to sleep. I was in a marriage for 6 years, and the final years of that, my partner was physically abusive, and it got to the point where I couldn't cope with my children seeing the level of abuse that was going on, and I just had to leave. I got probably as low as you can get. I got to the point at one stage where I felt like taking my own life.
You said one love.
being charitable, I let a few people in who I shouldn't have, who were going through similar hard times, which I had been through, and I suppose that got me homeless again. When I was homeless, I ended up with a crack habit. I did, and well, that was hard because I was hitting it hard as well, about 5-6 grams a day in the end.
Thank God that I walked into the Big Issue office the one day and met a gentleman called Kerry Harris, who was given the opportunity to start up a team of eight lads to go to a Homeless World Cup.
They helped me gain my confidence back slowly through the football and the street soccer.
It gave me a drive to actually get up in the mornings and you know, live like.
They can also dream of playing for their country. 8 players could be picked to represent Wales at the Homeless World Cup in Milan this September. But at the moment, the voluntary group's budget doesn't stretch to Italy. So Wales, forced to miss the previous 2 World Cups, won't be going if they can't raise around £7,000.
Because, you know, they have got certain problems, then the opportunity to play for Wales must be something that they probably never ever envisaged in their entire life. But again, speaking from personal experience, I mean, it's always been a proud moment when you represent your country at professional level. But I would think, you know, irrespective, it's probably even greater achievement if these youngsters here today can represent Wales in Italy. We just hope that the funding can be found and they can achieve that dream.
Last year, English street football projects received around £1 million from the Football Foundation, which is part funded by the FA. This year, the Irish Street League expects to get about £68,000 from the Irish FA. Here, the FAW provided kits and training venues, but said no to financial help.
In the context of our charitable objects and our funding, we didn't feel we could support it at the time. We have finite resources. And those are directed to our principal objectives, which are getting more young people playing the game and more young people who have talent progressing through the player pathway to the higher level.
Can you understand their frustration, though, when they see that the street leagues in England and Scotland and Ireland receive support from their respective football associations, yet they don't get a penny from the Welsh FA?
Well, I don't know what the scope of funding is in those other countries. Obviously in Wales things are different. We have smaller resources in the scale of countries like England, so we have to be really clear and specific about what we can and can't fund. If we can help in any way at all going forward, perhaps indirectly talking to other key partners, the Assembly Government Sports Council, the FAW, and find perhaps support another way, then I'd be happy to help.
For the want of a few thousand quid, it's a project promising to go on making profound changes to people's lives.
Something as small as a football can change someone, you know, for not doing drugs for that day or not doing alcohol for that day. It's got to be worth doing.